Please be advised, this is being read from a female perspective. So now I wish to go to the age of 16, the age that my freedom is bringing upon me. I remember by this time, I was called the mistress of the rope. I have learned many different kinds of knots and pulley systems, how to inflict pain, be it little or be it great. I can make pain last for days, hours, weeks, however long it was needed. One day, I was to give the man who I realized now was my captor a grand show. He was to be tied and for once put in a submissive role by me, and where I would also give pleasure to him. This day was meant to be different though. On this day, I was having what some would now call a flashback. You see, many deaths have been at my hands to this day. I still do not know why the girls that I must put to rest must die. I have no idea why they were there to die or why I had to kill them. But everything was going through my brain that day. And today was my day. I know I was only meant to give a small amount of pain to the man. Today I will do something that will release me into my own mind. I take the man into the room, a room where much death has occurred over the years. He strips down and tells me to tie him, and I do as I am told. I then restrain him into the position to where he cannot be freed. I begin to smack him. He smiles, he is pleased. Then I punch him in his face, in his stomach, and then his private area. However, this time, he got very angry at me. He yells at me to take him down. I have no idea why I did this, and I do not know what had come over me, but I did not take him down. But I take his shirt instead and shove it into his mouth. I take some tape that was nearby on a table and wrap it around the shirt in his mouth. I smile at him, and he begins a muffled scream. I think he knows better than I what is going to be his fate. I walk over to the table with knives and hammers. Do you remember I told you about this table before? I take the knife from the table and take the tip of the knife and just insert small little cuts into his flesh. He bleeds a lot. I remember saying, look, he bleeds. If he can bleed, he is no more relevant than I. At this point, I keep cutting and cut some more on him. At times, he would seem to be sleepy. So every now and then, I would hit him in his private area just to awaken him. I do not know why, but I kept seeing his private area, the area that has caused me so much pain, has been used to punish me many times. I do not know why this area was on him beyond just for punishment. So I cut off his private area. No more will he ever use that to harm me or anyone else. I wish I could say it lasted longer than that, but he started to bleed heavily, and he'd lose consciousness, and he died. I remember a feeling of power come over me. I even think I went a little insane. I say this because I licked the blood off the knife and said, I am now the man, the woman, and me. I am my own. Still in a daze, I walk out of the room. There's blood on me and my outfit. The lady comes walking down the hallway, then starts running as she sees me. The lady looked at me with the knife still in my hand and she said, "What have you done? What have you done?" I didn't say a word. I didn't say anything. I had no feeling at this time. I was not happy. I was not sad. I was just there. But even though I said nothing, I looked down and looked up and just stabbed her and started stabbing her over and over and over until she moved no longer. I remember going so fast. She let out somewhat of a scream, but it was very loud and very high. It sounded like a pig that my father had slaughtered for dinner one time. Finally, she stopped, only moments later. The only movement that she possessed was the movement of the dead that come along her. I then take the key from around her and start to open all the doors. I remember every day being around only 4 to 5 girls at a time. I think that this is all the girls in the house. But as I opened each door, there were many more. There were 33 girls total in these rooms, 33 including myself. These rooms had some girls dressed like doll, others were dirty and poor looking and smelled of bowel and urine. I was to find later, those were the girls the man would use in his experiments. I find it amazing how for so many years I lived with this man, I lay with this man, but not ever once had I ever known his name. Maybe it was better this way. This way I had no intention on putting a name to his or the woman's shallow graves. But I do have a problem now. Now what were we to do? We had lived all this time from the man. He brought home food, paid shelter. We were all kids. How was this meant to be? How would we now live? I would like to say happier times were to come, but I would be lying if I did so. What is to come next is the story of many murders, many deaths, stories that I wish I could have just imagined were false, but they weren't. I will tell you next time of when I become a serial killer and how I taught others like me to be mistress of the rope. You will also understand why I can no longer sleep at night and who I am, so I can one day maybe have some peace before death. Well, that's it, everybody. Be sure to check us out next time on Confessions of a Serial Killer, E.Phaun. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, guys. And I hope you guys, as morbidly as this sounds, and I don't mean it this way, but I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I really do. Peace out. Mahalo. Thanks so much for watching.